Today, I think that is 14 February 2024. We are having problems at the communication, and of course, the all problems complained got boosted by the not proper solution offered by the architect that must present this. And we will have few words one more time as no, quite simple. We will observe that the systemic organization of criminal practice through institutional corruption happened in all institutions around as corporations or state democratic institutions. Generally, the public sector will be caught on budget, and the corporations on contracts and also the budget. The financial purpose is quite clear. It's something organized locally with guidelines, kind of internationally, but you must make weaker the barriers against the criminal practice that exists in each local. So the corruption is a universal crime and the essential angle stone at this complaint. We will observe another thing, that this systemic mobilization in some areas formed a criminal system that is an entire conjuncture making things and organizing the people as nation through criminal purpose. Indeed, it's not nation, because this concept on political science and theory of power is about the organization through political goals. But since you had misguided and the misconcept about all things, using everything you have for criminal purpose, you consider that everything is okay. But indeed, this is a criminal organization. You will observe that the systemic crime, once set, will be a criminal driver or a criminal system based on the center of interest that in general has no legitimacy to be presented as a report or allow the transparency required or accomplish international agreements like the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. We observe that the aggressions made in Brazil and complained internationally from Brazil can be made by Brazil and peers, and can be something locally made by a local illegal act or unfairness or arbitrariness, or something internationally made at local, violating guarantees and rights that has a spectral projection as universal rights. And you do this by a universal crime as corruption. We set the different sides here. The criminal system, as told in the very beginning and in the conversation, is an array and a segment inside the regular architecture of power globally. Complain this segment perpetrates harassment and economic espionage by the data lifted from the private space, breaking the privacy. And by this segment has no excuse to do this in Brazil. No excused acts systematically made with motivation as a universal crime. You can compare the result as my self-defense, suppressed right, and victim with the offenders, especially if you put as a premise the anti-crime effort, right? So the conclusion is quite simple. Segment perpetrating crimes systematically made by no excuse acts, are they guilty? 1-1. Not guilty, 0-0. And now the guilt against the institution and architecture regressed with this payroll 40 trillion plus 12 billions with fees and risks and rate risk against this kind of aggression that hurt the economic rights at the consumer market or the relation and expectation even as theory. But something quite clear that the guiltiness belongs to the checks and blazing act as power misusers. We complain at this, right? Have a great